Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you so much for tuning into Masala Radio 98.7 FM. After a very, very, very long time, the Fulltoss crew is back on air, back in the studio. I am very, very, very excited today. Those of our friends who are tuning into us on our app, on iOS and Android devices, thank you so much for tuning in. आपका स्वागत है. जो लोग हमें हमारे वेबसाइट पे सुन रहे हैं masala.radio.com पे आपका भी स्वागत है. Those of our listeners who are listening to us in the greater Houston area, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for making us part of your evening commute. I realize you have plenty of choices and you have selected to listen to us, so thank you so much for doing that. Gives me a great pleasure to introduce my opening batsman, as always, the very colorful, the very knowledgeable Amarnath and Hamid Lakhani. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's great to be back.
Hold on, I think we lost someone. Amarnath, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
There we go.
Okay, thank you for those kind words, Amit. And it really feels great and great to see that all the listeners should be back and hope each and everyone is safe. And what we've seen in this past 4 months of this pandemic, I think we've learned a lot, and I think this will make us much more stronger as the new world order keeps coming in now, with everything being so much changed. So I wish everybody good luck and God bless and be safe.
And what a wonderful note with which Hamid Lakhani started. Amarnath, same to you also. Welcome back after such a long time. I hope you're safe, your family's safe. And what do you want to tell our listeners?
Okay. First of all, it's wonderful to be back talking to the listeners in Houston and worldwide. We live in very special times, I would call it, and we have to be thankful for every day in our lives. And it's a great honor and privilege to share our stories with the listeners.
Fulltoss is back on air. England and West Indies, and Hamid Lakhani is asking me the same thing. I just want to tell all of both of you and to my dear listeners, I have been coming in the studio. It's been a privilege to come here every week and to talk to you. A lot of you call me in the studio here. We've been talking. It was just such a great. It's been a privilege connecting with all of our listeners, and I wish all of you well. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to be, back with my two buddies here discussing cricket again, the sport that we love.
Likewise.
England and West Indies, they have started with a bang now. It's going to go in the history books now. In the pandemic, England hosting a test match and executing it. And what a start it has been. What a start it has been for the cricketing world. I know Hamid Lakhani and Amarnath, they're excited. Hamid was excited 2 months ago.
Yeah, you bet.
I mean, he kept texting us.
My alarm was on at 5 a.m.
Exactly, he was up.
like Amarnath.
Yeah, like Amarnath, same thing, right? Amarnath and Hamid Lakhani will definitely get into all our discussions, but I just want to paint the picture for those of our listeners who are tuning in to us for the first time. Fulltoss as a show has been on air for the last more than 2 decades now. Over 20 years Fulltoss is on. Amarnath and I have been together for the last 18 years. Before that, originally started Amit and Vijay used to be a Fulltoss show. Amarnath was our listener actually, Hamid Lakhani. He was our dedicated listener. And then later on, Amarnath became one of the stars of the show.
Wow.
That's how Amarnath and I connected. It's been a wonderful journey so far, and but for the pandemic, Fulltoss has never had a break for the 18 years.
Yeah, you mentioned to me though.
Never had a break.
Yeah.
And the format of the show is pretty straightforward. We talk about the current series that is happening right now, the current matches that are going on across the globe, including domestic cricket. We also talk about, I have both the panelists on the show today, Hamid Lakhani and Amarnath. They are wonderful experts, and they get to put their opinions. They get to put their point of view across to me and to our listeners. We also have a segment that is called This Day in Cricket. ये एक ऐसा segment है, Hamid Lakhani. When I was writing the show, one thing that came to my mind back in the days is, we talk about current series, we talk about current players. By doing This Day in Cricket segment, we also remember some of the yesteryear players.
Yes.
And that was the motive.
That's very important.
Yes.
And I'll just interrupt you. I'll bring that part. I think you also, Bina, somebody was doing some tribute, and something came up that this guy doesn't need introduction. And there's an episode which happened to you, which you shared. So please do share that later in the show.
I will share. In fact, Amarnath was there too.
Yeah,
Amarnath was there.
I really felt. What can I say? It was really. I knew what you were relating to. I don't want to say it right now. I want you to say it. But it was really. It was a privilege to hear that part from you and from that particular person who said, "Ke everybody needs."
Amarnath
blah, blah, blah.
Since you brought it up, Amarnath and I had a privilege, a very good opportunity to introduce Mr. Gavaskar back in 2012. And we were at this ground introducing him, and there was another third person who was introducing with us. He took the mic away from us to introduce him first. And he started off saying that, here's Mr. Gavaskar and he doesn't need introduction. And Mr. Gavaskar went on the mic and said, that was the worst introduction I have ever gotten in my life.
Absolutely. Everybody needs an introduction.
Amarnath was a witness to that. He was there. And
everybody needs an introduction. See, the way you look at it, that particular person has earned that introduction.
Indeed.
He's earned it, and that's how people will remember him, remember his legacy.
He
literally fried Nasir Hussain last week.
I did that.
When he said about the toughness of the players in 70s and 80s, and Sunny Paji said you were born in Chennai, and then moved to England. And what do you know about 70s and 80s toughness, my friend?
I remember
you haven't faced Michael Holding, Garner and company without a helmet.
England and West Indies. England won the first test. West Indies won the first test. England came back, won the second one. The third test and the final test begins tomorrow
morning.
Let me bring in two of my opening batsmen now. Let me start with you, Amarnath. If you can give an opening statement on England and West Indies.
This series has proved to be exactly what cricket needed, not just what you and I needed. This is what cricket and cricket fans needed. A very thrilling, competitive series. The first test was won comprehensively by the West Indies. The second test, England roared back and they won. But the scorecards really don't tell the real true story of how competitive the matches were. I would say till the fourth day evening, till the second new ball was taken, no match, even in the first test or second test, the match was open and nobody could have predicted what would be the result. In the first test, it was England were sailing along 250 for 3 when it looked that they would save the match, if not put West Indies under the mat. And suddenly West Indies fast bowling, which has been outstanding, was able to deliver a victory for West Indies in the first test. And the first test was wonderful. And the second test, identical, but the roles were reversed. England West Indies looked like mounting a good challenge to the mammoth total put up by England. And they were all set to avoid follow-on and defend bat out the whole of day 4 when Chris Broad,
Stuart Broad.
had the Stuart Broad. Chris Broad is his father. I'm sorry. I'm showing my age. Stuart Broad had a brilliant spell with the second new ball, and that made all the difference. They got a very good lead, and they were able to put West Indies under pressure on the day 5, and they won very comfortably. So the bottom line it comes down to is the difference between the two teams, though everybody has pitched in, is one man called Stokes.
By the way, he has broken 4 different records. This match.
Ben Stokes, England rises and falls along with Ben Stokes. He is like the Virat Kohli or Steve Smith for England.
Coming from Amarnath, I have never heard him compare or never seen him live in the studio. I have never seen him do that. This is the first time I heard him do that.
So Ben Stokes is the linchpin, and England team revolves around him. He does very well. England does very well. If he has an average day, England has a below average day. So that's how it was.
Thank you, Amarnath.
Really wonderful test match series. I can't wait for tomorrow morning. I think it's going to be a cracker of a test match. I don't like to say this, but I have to go with England for this test also.
Thank you. Hamid Lakhani.
So remember, great input by Amarnath. He's covered all points, and as I mentioned to you, it will be a feast of watching Pacers.
So yeah, Hamid actually 2 महीने पहले मुझे बोला था this will be a Pacers paradise.
It will be a feast to watch.
Right.
It will be a feast to watch Pacers, and in the first test, not picking Broad, I don't know why. Big mistake.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know why. And then Root didn't play because he was having his, I think, first or second child, and that's where Ben came in. So that was a slight difference. But then West Indies came up really strong. Gabriel, he had about close to 9 wickets, and Holder had 7 wickets.
True.
So it was a great contest. Convincingly, West Indies won. Second test match, great match. But the biggest turn of the match, was where? Second innings, when Root sends in Stokes and sends in Butler. Yeah. Because they had the lead, they just needed about a quick fire of 130, 150 runs. Keema Roach came firing with 2 wickets, but the difference was 57 balls, 78 of Ben Stokes. So as Amarnath said, if Ben Stokes first inning 176, then again 78, they had the game locked in. They had the game locked in, and that's what made the difference. And Chris Broad, 6 wickets. So it made a big difference. So what Amarnath said, I totally agree. But that second inning strategy was like a Formula 1 strategy, asking the driver to come in for his into the pit to change his drivers into soft or medium. So this was a great strategy by Root. Forget everything, put in these 2 big heavy hitters, get 130 and start getting these guys out. So that's exactly what worked out very well. Great game. Tomorrow is going to be a great game.
Amarnath and Hamid Lakhani, thank you for that opening partnership there. I do appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
4 records have been broken by Ben Stokes. He has broken Sachin's record. He has broken Punter's record.
Yeah.
And I want to know from our listeners what are the 2 other records that he has broken in this match. 281, 277, 68, 74, 281, 277 6874, or you can text your responses to our WhatsApp number in the studio. It is 713 568 0987, 713 568 0987, and I have lots of giveaways in the studio. So first 5 callers, or maybe want to text me, I'll definitely take those your responses. Plenty more things are happening around the world. Amarnath and Hamid Lakhani, there is a big news from Team Pakistan.
Yes, there is.
And it was very unfortunate when I heard that Team Pakistan has been traveling without a sponsor.
Yeah, it's without jersey sponsor. Yes,
it's such a sad scenario.
Very
and I've heard
scenario.
reports that they are actually they are made to stay in 3-star hotels, and they are actually eating on the floors. Mm-hmm. This is the condition for it's such unfortunate thing for a team like Pakistan for playing Test cricket for so long,
yeah,
and have to go through this kind of scenario.
It's
unfortunate.
I'm surprised that they don't have a sponsor, because given how dynamic and how wonderful this Pakistan team is, I'm really surprised.
They're never short of talent.
Poor marketing to unable to get a sponsor.
Marketing.
It's impossible that a team like Pakistan cannot get sponsors. It boggles my mind.
You will not believe every team, every cricket playing nation would like to invite this Pakistan cricket team to come play, because it creates so much of hype, because there is so much of talent to see, in the bowling wise and the batting wise.
That too in England. I can't believe this.
That too in England, yeah.
It's unfortunate, as I said earlier. All right, friends. Hamid and Amarnath, stay tuned. I have to go take a short drinks break. But before I do that, just want to remind our listeners, this is Fulltoss. You're listening to us live. Fulltoss is back on air every Thursdays at 7 p.m. with Amit, Amarnath and Hamid Lakhani on 98.7 FM, Masala Radio. When we do come back on the other side, I have a few more things I wanted to talk about. Ireland is, by the way, in England now. IPL, that's the biggest news. We'll talk about IPL and the prospects of that. And I also want to share a news a discussion between Saurav Ganguly and Cricket Australia. A decision has come today. So stay tuned for that. I'll share those details with you. And don't forget, coming up later half in the show is our This Day in Cricket. And in our profile segment, you don't want to miss that. That's all coming up.
Not today.
The ultimate power in the universe.
Masala Radio 98.7 FM. Turn it on and turn it up.
Masala Radio.
Tune in 7 days a week with a crazy Masala crew. 98.7 FM. Masala Radio. So spicy.
Masala.
Welcome back, friends. Thank you so much for tuning into Masala Radio 98.7 FM. You're listening to Fulltoss, the voice of cricket in America. This is your host, Amit, along with Amarnath and Hamid Lakhani. Gentlemen, welcome back.
Thank you, Amit. Pleasure to be back.
Thank you, Amit.
Before the break, I was talking about a few breaking news that are making round these days. One of them definitely has to be IPL been pitched to be played in the UAE. There is no T20 World Cup now this year. Obviously, that has been
It's already
scrapped.
postponed.
Correct. Has there been a decision taken in terms of the months or the days or how the tournament will be? I don't think so. I know the decision has been
they've
taken.
already put in the window 26th September through 7th of November. It's just now government approval pending now, and they've already sent out notices to all participating players. And yesterday I even read Ken Williamson. He was pretty excited, and Cricket New Zealand had already given them NOCs, so they're all gearing up. See, it's about time things start coming. This is going on for the last 5 months, and as I mentioned when Sunil was here, that I'm from the airline industry, and which we are hurting the most. We're down 97%, and now airlines are sitting with respective Department of Transportation and health centers and health authorities to come out of this, to make sure how we can come out of this. So I think it's good that we are excited, and England and West Indies tour is one of very good examples.
What I have also read just this morning that BCCI is not ruling out. Again, let me repeat, they are not ruling out having the tournament in India itself.
Yes, they have not yet ruled it out. Yes, this is just a backup plan which they are creating. It all depends how, because see, in India the logistics are already in place. It's just that it's been postponed. Going out of India, you need a lot of logistics, and Sharjah, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, 3 different places, and doing logistics in a foreign country with a short notice, it's not going to be easy.
Amarnath, your thoughts?
Very true. Having the tournament in India will depend on the health perceptions. If the number of cases keeps rising, that might be a cause for concern to the foreign players and others, or foreign media covering. It will be a call based on the number of cases. That's what my gut feeling is. Otherwise, there's no reason why it should go outside. If both the infection rates in Dubai and Bombay, if both are the same, there's no reason why it should go to Dubai. So it will come down to infection rates in some big metropolis in India. If they are at par with Dubai and you have proper protocols in place, play it in India. There's no reason to go outside, because you have all the, as Hamid Bhai said, you have all the logistics in India. All the groundskeepers, groundsmen, everything you have.
One of the decisions that was taken today, and it's the reason why I'm bringing it up right now, is because it has a connection to it. I'm referring to India's tour of Australia later in the year. And Cricket Australia has come back to Ganguly's request, and pretty much they turned it down, saying that all the players will have to be quarantined for 14 days.
Yeah, they will.
Right.
Yeah, they will do that. Yeah,
Ganguly has been negotiating that.
yeah. He's had some reservations about.
Yeah,
it.
he still does, by the way. He still does.
He still does. Yeah.
And the reason why I'm bringing this up and how the two are connected is right after, if the IPL were to take place, right after IPL, Team India would travel to Australia.
Yeah.
And so Cricket Australia is also not debating. They are very firm about the decision that the players will be quarantined.
Why not? What is it going to hurt?
I don't see any harm.
What is it going to hurt? Same thing West Indies did right now. Pakistan did right now. Everybody's doing it right now. So it's a precautionary measure for both the sides of the countries, and it's in the benefit. Cricket Australia is not just speaking in air; they're even speaking with some responsibility.
True, but I think what Ganguly and would be concerned is 2 weeks quarantining could impact on the schedules. That's the end of.
I mean, that's the only possibility I can think of.
That is the only reason. Otherwise, I agree fully. Quarantining, why only 2 weeks? They should go for a longer time, practice 4 weeks in Australia. They'll have a better chance. One of the reasons why West Indies did so well in England is for more than 4 weeks they're in the bubble. So get into the bubble earlier. That's my point, if the schedule allows it.
But here's another fact. There aren't that many series that are taking place even before or after, as of now. Things could change.
It could change.
Things could change
Simply
really fast.
Things are going on a day-to-day basis.
Correct.
Amit.
But things, as of now, as of today, this is how, as they stand. India is still slated to go and play in Australia. I believe there was also a series, a T20 series that was supposed to take place. I don't know if it's still on or not. But Boxing Day match will be in Adelaide. That's one thing for sure. It has been finalized. So those of us who follow Boxing Day match,
Melbourne.
No Melbourne this time.
But this time there's no Perth too.
There's no Perth.
It says Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide, and Brisbane.
That's correct.
Yeah.
The venues have changed. Okay. I'm going to bring you back now to England and West Indies. And the reason why I'm doing that, because I wanted to get your opinion. Like this is like an editorial. I wanted to hear Hamid Lakhani's view and I wanted to hear Amarnath's view. Always has been a debate about Anderson and Stuart Broad. Together they have taken over 1,000 wickets.
Yes.
1,500 wickets probably, close to that number. And recently I have read in reports about Anderson may be opting out for retirement. And that's going to be by the Pakistan series happens. I wanted to know from both of you about the possibility of that happening. And number two, I wanted to ask both of you about why were the selectors too hesitant in the beginning to play both of them. Back in the days, you could see both of them playing all the time. These days, why is there a discussion to play Anderson and Broad? So let me start with you, Amarnath.
Well, very simple answer. Anderson is 38 years old. He's not at the same level of fitness as what he was. Stuart Broad is slightly younger than him, I think so. And so with Anderson being 3/4 fit, even 3/4 fit, Anderson is still a very great bowler. But he has to make the call that he can bowl 20 overs each day. Okay, that 20 overs quota which he has to deliver every day, he has to make the call whether his body can take the beating. I'm sure they would have noticed after the first test that he was not at the best level on day 5. On day 5, his level of bowling was not at the level to take advantage of when West Indies were 27 for 3 or if not 35 for 4. Effectively, Anderson could not put the pedal to the metal. That is the reason why Broad came in. That they noticed that Anderson was struggling to keep his level up. If at that level your bowling loses the speed or the accuracy, the other batsmen can easily take advantage.
By the way, in tomorrow's match, Amarnath, both slated to play, okay? And starting tomorrow.
So I think they gave that 5 days off for Anderson for him to as a recovery period.
Very well. Amit?
Yeah, I think what the English selection team, this is what I feel, is that now, as Amarnath said, he's already 38 and he's starting to now lose his feathers, what he had, and that's why they got in Archer and they even got in Wood.
Jofra Archer's back.
Jofra Archer and Wood. They took both these pacers with Anderson and then gave Chris Broad a break just to see how
Stuart Broad, right?
Yeah, Stuart. Yeah, so how that chemistry, or how Wood and Archer would fit in once this Anderson saga gets over. So I think that's one of the reasons. But we've been seeing Broad and Anderson from both ends. They've got about close to 1,100 wickets.
And what are your thoughts about his retirement? That I've been speculating it for a long time.
His retirement is due now. We saw it in the first test how it was, and well said Amarnath that he could not even complete. We saw on the fifth day. When I saw him bowling, he was just bowling outside the off stump, just outside the off stump, nothing going on the pad, nothing going on the bat, just off stump ke nick lag jave, first slip, second slip. Exactly, that's what he was doing. He was just pedaling, he was just smashing the ball right outside the off stump ke nick lag jave. That's what he was doing. And well said by Amarnath that he's already 38 now, and it's time now. It's time.
Speaking of, go ahead, Amarnath.
Incidentally, we are talking of Broad and Anderson. I had the good fortune exactly 9 years back to see them bowl on July 23rd in Lords.
I remember Amarnath. He actually sent me a picture of him sitting at the Lords.
When was that?
On July 23rd. It is exactly 9 years.
9 years ago.
And I can't. Unfortunately, they bowled very well. And
that's exactly after we won the World Cup.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
World Cup. So, but Broad and Anderson, I never thought I would see an English pair. That standing, I never expected to see in my lifetime. Again, a great surprise, wonderful surprise.
Yeah.
Amarnath, in the same topic, in same connection now, the third test is also being played at Manchester, Old Trafford.
Yeah, Old Trafford, yeah.
Right? That's where it's being played. Let me take this call on air, okay? Already, you're live on air. Your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Elif, Texas. Yogesh Patel.
Hey, Yogesh bhai, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you guys?
Very well, very well. Yogesh bhai, so you heard our conversation, right?
Yeah, I heard. I'm listening to you guys.
So tell me, what do you think?
I think it's about time for Anderson to retire.
I
think he like Amarnath said, he cannot hold for a 5-day game. I think it's about time he retires now. And I think England has to look for the new bowlers. I think Wood and Jofra Archer both are capable bowlers, and they need to get more time in there. So
that's what Hamid was saying earlier.
Yeah, and another thing, like you asked about Ben Stokes, he scored Test cricket 50 in 36 balls, and he's the first player ever to score 250 runs in a test.
There you go, Yogesh bhai. That's what I was looking for. Yogesh bhai. Okay.
Well said. Well said.
I'm going to give you an option. Either you can get a $10 gift certificate from Ashiana. You can get any free appetizers from Bombay to Beijing. Any chart from Nirman's. You can also get... there's also a taco place. Let me see if I can have that. But your choice, Yogesh bhai. Whatever you need, let me know. Just text me on 713-568-0987. I'll get that over to you.
Okay. Yeah, all right. No, you guys, I like your show and it's very fantastic. And I think India is, for IPL, I think they are thinking to go to UAE and asking for government permission. That's what I read.
Yeah.
So first of all, thank you for your compliments on the show. I do appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Yogesh. Thank you for all your compliments. So thank you.
Sure.
Be safe.
Take care. I think overall, if you can hear from everyone, Amarnath and Yogesh bhai also said that it's the age is a factor now, which is going to play a crucial role in, Anderson. But I think it should be his decision, right? At the end of the day.
It is his decision. He
It's
has
his
earned
decision,
the right to call it a day. And his selectors can sit him down and tell him, choose the test when you want to have the grand farewell.
Okay, correct. Yeah.
Another burning topic. This has become a very controversial topic, and in the middle of this whole thing, one of the players who's being dragged into it, unfortunately, but he's also the chairman of the MCA now, and that's Kumar Sangakkara. This has to do with the controversy of 2011 World Cup.
Oh, that is a needless controversy.
Needless controversy. Needless.
Indeed, it's a needless controversy. But regardless, this controversy has been stirred, and Mahela Jayawardena was dragged into it. So did Kumar Sangakkara. And this is what we always talk about, the class of Sangakkara, right?
Oh, he's too good of a class.
I mean, his class personified, Amarnath.
I'm
Hamid.
sorry to interrupt.
No,
Sorry to
he
interrupt.
conducts
If you ask me, that guy is above class.
Yeah.
No, he conducts himself absolutely properly, and he respects the game, respects the players, respects himself.
Yeah,
That's most
very true.
important.
I think he's one of the most respected players in the world right now, and rightly selected to be at that position. If you honestly ask me,
no
Gentlemen.
doubt.
I think anybody who can be a great ambassador for cricket is Sangakkara.
See
He's a
how he
fantastic
went to
job.
Pakistan, how he lobbied the cricket over there.
You asked a question just recently. Indra Nooyi
Indra Nooyi.
being appointed for the ICC chairman.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a minute to talk about that.
Yeah, because she has been great in what she does, and I think these organizations, they need great people with vision, with what they can do, and that's what is now we even as a world order, we want to see the best of things coming up for the next generation. So that's how, if you see in different countries, different genres, they pick up people who've done something for the people, because they have a vision more than what we as average person can see.
Indra being the CEO of PepsiCo, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know that she's also played cricket.
She also played cricket. That is why that qualification comes in.
Amarnath, you have 40 seconds. Go ahead.
Two things. ICC needs to have a much more corporate outlook.
That's
There
what I
you
wanted
go.
to hear.
There you go.
That's
Very
what I
well
wanted
said.
to hear.
Very
That's
well
what I
said.
wanted to hear.
Very well
Go
said.
ahead.
She brings it. Second, it has to be much more in. Not be a game of old white men, and having Indra
well
Nooyi sends the right message. She is neither old nor white, not male. So I think that sends the right message of diversity and the right level of professionalism.
See, that's what I just said.
That's what I wanted to
That's
hear.
what I said. We as average people, you don't see, but people like these, they
Sir,
see
आपने तो
something more.
क्रीज के बाहर निकल के जो
क्रीज
छक्का
के बाहर
मारा
निकाला है, क्रीज के बाहर.
Hold on, both of you. You're both on fire. I have to take a short drinks break. When we come back, we'll talk more. That was
We're not going anywhere.
98.7 FM.
Ladies and gentlemen,
What's up, party people? You're listening to Masala Radio 98.7 FM. That's what's up.
You're listening to Masala Radio 98.7 FM, and this is Fulltoss, the voice of cricket in America. मैं हूं अमित, मेरे साथ में है अमरनाथ and Hamid Lakhani of Travel Guys. Travel Guys did a wonderful job in this day and age, in this as Amarnath correctly said, challenging times. Travel Guys is someone and Hamid Lakhani who has been able to sustain this thing, and hats off to you, brother.
Thank you, sir.
And this is something I have been bragging about it, and I and with your permission, I want to brag about it. I do want to let people know, because when the airlines turn their backs on people, on their customers, Hamid Lakhani has given money from his own pocket to give refunds to his customers. I don't know anyone in this industry who is doing this. Hamid Lakhani, तुम किसी और ही मिट्टी के बने हो भाई.
Thank you for the kind words, my friend. That's why we are there.
और ही किसी मिट्टी के बने हो.
That's why we are there as a company for our travelers whose all their earnings are very hard earned.
And you can always follow Hamid Lakhani and Travel Guys. Hamid, I joke around during our drive time shows all the time. Amarnath, I always say he tweets more than Trump. But it's true. Midnight also ये बंदा ट्वीट पे लगा हुआ है ट्विटर पे. Jokes apart, if you ever want to know where you should travel, what are some of the procedures now that are governments have put in place, you can reach Hamid Lakhani not only on the phone 866-723-9393, but also you can tweet him, Hamid Lakhani, Travel GUZS, Travel Guys, travelguys.com is the website. And I'm just happy that not only Hamid is our sponsor, he's also my co-host, Amarnath's co-host. So welcome back,
Thank you,
Hamid
sir.
and
Thank you for the
Amarnath.
kind words. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
Amarnath, are you ready? अरे मैंने इनका फिर माइक बंद कर दिया.
Oh.
Okay, say that again. Amarnath, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Very much so.
Okay. So
I had
that's my fault.
I had a good drinks break.
I know you did. So now I'm really excited. I'm really excited for this. So Amarnath, we have two things for you today. One we always do, which is our this gen cricket. But this time we have a dusra for you.
Okay.
And so we'll ask you that question once we get over our this gen cricket. Okay. Now, those of our listeners who are tuning in to us for the first time, what is this segment all about? This gen cricket. ये वो segment है जो मैं अमरनाथ से कभी share नहीं करता हूँ. I mean, whatever I'm saying right now, and Hamid Lakhani is a witness of that. Amarnath has no clue what I'll be talking about. So I'll say something, and then Amarnath's reaction is priceless. We call him the human encyclopedia. Amarnath, are you ready for this?
Absolutely.
Bring it on.
Go ahead.
Bring it on. Okay. Born July 23rd, 1953.
Okay.
Played in the 80s then.
Yeah, there we go.
1953. Then you would have played in the 70s.
अरे भाई मुझे बोलने दो guys. तुम पूरा उसकी जन्म पत्रिका वैसे निकाल दोगे. Okay.
बिल्कुल.
He has under his name he's got 8,900 test runs.
Okay.
Okay, he already knows.
He's got 333, 154.
You don't have to go beyond that. Graham Gooch.
333, nobody can forget. My friend, please don't bring it up. Please don't bring it up.
Before that, let me tell you something about him.
Tell me.
He started his first test scoring duck in each innings.
Duck in each inning. Yeah, he had a pair.
He had a pair against Australia.
He had a pair, yeah.
In the Birmingham test, he had a king pair.
Yeah.
Okay, Amarnath, ready for the next one?
Yes.
The year is 1949.
1949. Okay.
Born July 23rd, 1949.
Okay.
Birth of a world-class all-rounder
Okay.
who lost a test career because South Africa were banned.
That's very easy. Clive Rice.
Ah, it is Clive Rice.
Clive Rice.
It is Clive Rice.
Because he couldn't make it earlier because of Barlow and Graham Pollock and all
Barlow
those
and Graham
people
Pollock
there.
and all those guys.
Proctor. Moment in 1970 they stopped playing South Africa. He lost his chance, but he got his chance against India in 1991 when he captained South Africa for the first 3 ODIs in India.
Yeah. Okay.
But that was pretty late for him. But he was one of the best players for South Africa.
Born July 23rd, an Aussie this time. An Aussie.
Okay.
Okay.
Born July 23rd, 1950.
50.
Okay.
He's played 14 tests for Australia between 1975 and 1977. He's made
Only 2 years he played. Okay.
Yeah, he's made a brilliant 81 against West Indies in his 4th test.
Okay. 75 to 77. Aussie. There are not too many players at that time.
In the next series, after scoring 81, in the very next match, he scored 100.
Okay.
He's also played in the 1971 World Cup and scored his only one-day 100 in a group game against Sri Lanka.
Okay. 75 World Cup. That is Alan Turner.
It is Alan Turner. Alan Turner.
Okay.
Then I knew it was
Wow,
Alan
man. Unbelievable. Sir, हाथ जोड़ लिया मैंने.
हाथ जोड़ लिए भाई, हाथ जोड़ लिए.
No, he didn't play too many matches, but I
He
wanted...
only played 14 test matches. That's all he played.
He didn't play too many matches. I wanted a hook, and the hook you gave me was Sri Lanka match. He's scoring a century in the World Cup.
All right, I've got a couple of milestones for this on this day that happened, and this is a good one. This is a really, really good one. July 23rd. This player completed his second triple century at Headingley.
Oh, second triple is Don Bradman. Who else?
It is Don Bradman.
Don Bradman.
Yeah, Don Bradman.
334 and 304.
304 and 388. That was with Bill Ponsford, I think.
No, the 388 was the partnership he had with Bill Ponsford.
Correct.
No, he scored 334 and 304 in Headingley, 1930 and 1934.
So there is another record on the same day, is also in 1938.
He scored a century. In
scored a century
1938,
in
he scored, but not a triple century. He scored 103 or 104.
That is correct. That is correct.
No. Best was a quick story about Bradman. In 1934, he cut short an interview in the evening, telling that he had to bat for Australia next day. And the journalist said, "Last time you scored a triple century here, so the law of averages against you." And he said, "I don't believe in the law of averages. It doesn't apply to me."
Okay.
And he scored 304. And so the journalist said he clearly showed that Bradman was well above all kinds of averages.
Okay, Amarnath, are you ready for this? This is a dusra from both Hamid and I. Okay.
Okay.
More Hamid than me.
Okay, special dusra.
This is a special dusra. Okay. Let me see if I want to make sure I'm wording it right.
Wording it correctly.
That's the most important thing, right?
Yeah.
Who besides Sachin? Who apart from Sachin
Okay.
has played?
No, has a longer career.
Has a longer career
In cricket.
in cricket.
Sachin had 24 years.
Okay. Is it by number of tests or number of years?
Years.
Number of years. He had 24 years. If I have to go by number of years, it could be Jack Hobbs. Jack Hobbs played from 1908 to 1930, 22 years.
आज इनका डंडा उड़ने वाला
24 plus at वो 22 है.
वो 22 है सर.
22. Jack Hobbs was around 1908 to 1930, about 22 years.
No.
And who else had played for such a long time? Any player from South Africa? No. Who could have played from 1970 and 1991? Such a long.
Should we give him the number of years he's played?
Yeah, give him a clue.
30 years.
Oh, he played for 30 years. Test cricket.
Test cricket.
Yes.
Okay, then that brings a different equation altogether. I thought it was below Sachin Tendulkar.
No.
Above. Sachin said
then it's,
above Sachin.
Then I have to use my rules logic slightly different.
आज डंडा उड़ा इनका.
Wait. Let me see. 19. So he played for 30 years.
30 years.
Which era did he play?
18. The Trent Bridge at 1899. June 1899 was his farewell appearance.
No, June 18. He started.
Oh, he started. Yeah, he started that.
He
My
played,
bad.
yeah. When he was 52, he that was his last game.
1899 to 1929. 30 years you're talking. Or Pelham Warner?
आज इनका विकेट गया सर. आज इनका विकेट. हमीद लखानी तू पहला बॉलर जिसने डंडे उड़ाए इनके आज.
Okay, who's it?
Go ahead, Hamid.
It's क्या नाम है अपना Wilfred Rhodes.
Wilfred Rhodes.
Oh, right. He was a left-arm bowler.
Yeah, there you
go. Wilfred Rhodes lasted a record of 30 years and 315 days from his debut.
Correct.
Alongside W.G. Grace at Trent Bridge in June 1899.
That's what I was referring to when I
to
was
his farewell appearance against West Indies in Kingston in April 1930. He was 52, the oldest man to play a test match.
Yeah.
No. That was a very special. England sent for that year 2 teams abroad.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. Amarnath mentioned that in the past.
2 teams abroad, and to fill up the West Indies, they didn't send their best team to West Indies. That's how Wilfred Rhodes got the chance.
All right, gentlemen, I have to finish the show on time. So, thank you very much, Hamid Lakhani.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being
आज
here.
तेरा
Thank
नाम
you.
रिकॉर्ड बुक में चले गया भाई मेरे. तू आज घर जाके बल्ले बल्ले करने वाला है.
आज बल्ले करने का.
तेरे बल्ले बल्ले हो गया आज तो. Okay, this is the segment that I wait for. Hamid waits for. Our listeners wait for. Amarnath, are you ready?
Yes, absolutely.
It gives me an absolute pleasure to talk about our player today, whose career we will be celebrating. And at this point, let me hand over the mic to my friend, my colleague, Amarnath. Amarnath, the mic is all yours.
Thank you, Amit. Today we are talking about one of the true legends of the game, and it has been a great pleasure to have followed his career through his entire life when I watched cricket and followed cricket. It is none other than Sir Ian Botham.
वाह क्या बात है
क्या बात है.
Ian Botham was one of those very colorful English characters. Normally, you don't associate rebellious characters from England.
True.
They are more Aussie or somebody. England players are very proper. They follow the rules. Whereas Botham was just the opposite. He liked to stir things up. He was brash, dominant, domineering, whatever you want to call it. And he could bat, he could bowl, he could field. He was a captain, but unfortunately, he couldn't get others to play at his level. But that aside, he really brought so much of color and drama to every match. And he never hesitated to express his opinions about the umpires, about the English cricket rulers. So much so they banned him because of some marijuana use. But the greatness of the man cannot be measured just by numbers. It's also what you do after you play the game. He started a walk for charity for children of blood cancer. He started a walk for the entire Britain from the top to bottom. He used to do like a walkathon, a marathon. He used to walk, and he used to ask all the local cricketers, "Join me and raise money for the children who are suffering from cancer." And that became a huge hit. And every year his walk used to raise millions. So much so, the English aristocracy had to take notice and knight him, and he became Sir Ian Botham.
Oh, that's an interesting story behind how he got knighted.
Yeah, that's how he got knighted.
Otherwise, he was considered low life because he was not from the aristocracy, and he was very open about expressing his opinions. And in terms of so many matches he has won for England, the Headingley Test in 1981, who can forget that? It was Botham's Test, it was Botham's series. You can read all his exploits, but the man was much bigger than the player. That's my point.
Very well said. Very well said.
And that's what finally the measure of the man is more important.
And he was pretty vocal though.
Oh yes.
He's also pretty vocal even behind the mic now in the commentary box.
I remember first time when he came to India.
Here too.
Hamid?
I remember first time he came to India to play player series, and after the first day, he says, "Man, where am I bowling? I'm tired of bowling the entire day. The ball doesn't go above the stump." You know how the subcontinent wickets were back then, you know?
Correct.
And he won that.
The ball wouldn't rise.
Amarnath?
Yes, he won that 79 test against India.
Yeah.
He won that match.
Yeah.
10 wickets in a century.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard Amarnath. Thank you so much for that wonderful tribute.
Thank
I
you,
do
sir.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you. That's a great enlightenment.
That is a very good tribute, a very fitting tribute. Those of you who are not familiar with what just happened right now, this was a profile segment that we do. We call it a profile segment, but we actually celebrate a career of a player, a legend. And the इसमें जो खास बात है, Amarnath is not reading Wikipedia. That's his way. That's his own
up close and personal. इनके खुद के experiences है जो उन्होंने matches देखी हुई है, उन्होंने लिखी हुई है, पढ़ी हुई है. This is his own account, and that's what makes this segment so good. And what I would recommend, these are whom we pick. Even the callers can call us and give us suggestions.
Of course.
If they follow somebody, they feel we should pay tribute to a legendary cricket player. We would love to hear from our listeners.
All right, I need to wrap it up, but before I do that, do not forget August 5th, Pakistan and England series is starting.
Oh yes, that'll be something to watch.
This long awaited Pakistan and West and England series that is to start. But before that, after the West Indies series, Ireland is already in England. They'll be playing some matches there, England and Ireland. Very good to watch. By the time we come back next week, we'll have some updates for you and more details for you as far as where the IPL stands. By then, we would have had a decision whether India will be playing, whether BCCI will be playing the tournament in India or in UAE. And I've got more news next week coming up on women's cricket. Hamid, Lakhani, real quickly.
And next week we will also cover if India is going to Australia.
India, yes. India is definitely going to Australia, but the negotiations
and the insight of how the pace bowlers are going to prepare themselves because no saliva now.
Exactly.
That's another thing.
That's such an interesting point.
So I'm going to put that together next week.
All right. So I'm looking forward for your report on that. Amarnath, Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. You are in true sense, you are a human encyclopedia, my man.
I get enlightened.
For the last
Well,
18 years.
I got stumped and run out today.
Oh, you got. That was. आपका middle stump अभी भी cartwheel कर रहा है मेरे पीछे.
Yay!
Yeah, Amit Lakhani. Amarnath, 18 years you and I have been together on air, and after every show, you enlighten me. It's been a pleasure. It's been a privilege sharing the mic with you.
Same here. It's a pleasure to share cricket observations with the audience in Houston and worldwide, and I thank them for the opportunity.
Hamid Lakhani, you have been an excellent addition to this Fulltoss team. We couldn't have asked for any better co-host than you. You bring your lot of knowledge, you bring passion, you bring your so much of experience, and above all, you got a tremendous voice, my friend. And very, very happy to have you on the show.
Thank you very much. It's a privilege, and thank you very much for the kind words. As I share my enthusiasm, and you and Amarnath said your enthusiasm, and I'm knowing more and more cricket every day. What I had not known prior to meeting you guys, I knew what I knew. But what you know and what Amarnath knows, even I am educating myself more and more, and that's how we engage more with our clients. So even they come to know more of something which they have not experienced. So it's great being here, and take care all the passionate listeners. And Amarnath, you be safe, and Amit, you be safe too. Signing off, and everybody be safe.
All right, folks. Fulltoss crew will be back next Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Till then, everybody take care of yourself and each other.